Hey, this is Jeff Gardner of Passive Income Project. Would you like to know how to get unstuck and finally start seeing some results and succeeding in your online business? Well, here's 3 things you really need to do. First of all, stop telling yourself you're stuck. We tell people, oh, we're confused or we're overwhelmed, and the reality is that's just an excuse to keep us from dealing with what's really in front of us, what's really facing us, and that's fear, right? Fear of making a mistake, fear of looking stupid, fear of embarrassment, fear of humiliation. So instead of feeling that fear, what do? We say, well, I'm stuck, I'm overwhelmed, I'm confused, I don't know what to do. Instead of telling yourself that story, which is going to keep you stuck, what I recommend that you do is feel the fear, accept the fear. Anytime you do something new, you're going to feel that fear, but refuse to listen to it, right? Tell yourself, instead of I'm stuck or I'm confused, tell yourself, look, I'm afraid, but I'm figuring it out. I'm checking out what's working for other people. I'm seeing, what other businesses are working, what other people are doing, what actions other people are taking that are getting good results, and I'm figuring it out. But the longer you tell yourself, I'm confused, I'm overwhelmed, I'm frustrated, I don't know what to do, I'm not sure if this is going to work, the longer you tell yourself that story, the longer you put off taking action and actually seeing some results. So number 1, just stop telling yourself that you're stuck. Number 2, take action. You've got to take action. Now, if you take action, what's going to happen? Well, one of 2 things is going to happen. You're either going to win, so you have an expectation of the result you want, so you're going to take action, and you're either A, going to get that result that you want, or B, you're not going to get the result that you want, right? You're going to fail to get the result that you want, but guess what? You're going to learn something. You're going to get some feedback, and you're going to learn something from that failure if you're aware. So think about that. Any action that you take, one of 2 things is going to happen. You're either going to win or you're going to learn something. So you're getting value from the action that you're taking. There's a great quote that says, amateurs fail, professionals test. So if you get out there and you take an action, you're like, oh man, I didn't get the expectation that I wanted. I didn't get the result that I wanted. I didn't get the outcome that I wanted. And then you let that keep you from taking more action, it just means you're an amateur. It means you're looking at it the wrong way. You need to look at it the correct way that a professional would look at it. A professional goes out there, they take an action, and they see what comes back. Did I get the result that I wanted? Did I make the money? Did I get the leads? Is my business growing in the way I wanted it to? No? Great. What information can I get from the action that I took? What's the feedback? What are the numbers coming back? What does that tell me about my business, or what does it tell me about the actions that I'm taking? So number 2, take action and stop thinking that you have to succeed, because the reality is that if you win, you succeed. If you learn something about your business, about your action, you succeed as well. So you got to look at it like a professional if you really want to succeed. And number 3, expect to be bad at something before you get any good, right? So if it's an online business, if it's anything in your life, expect at the beginning to be bad, to be horrible, to be awkward, right? Because the reality is that, if you want to be a virtuoso piano player or a violinist, you don't just pick it up, or you don't think yourself to success, right? You got to be really horrible for a long period of time before you get, even kind of good, and then great, and then amazing. So that happens with anything. It happens with business, it happens with relationships, it happens with lots of different things. So you have to be willing at the beginning to not be great, to be bad. Anything worth doing well, anything you really want out of life is worth doing poorly at the beginning. You've got to start somewhere, so start at the beginning. Now, I know some people, they look at people that are super successful, making all this money, traveling all over the world, and they think, that's what I want, right? Absolutely, and that's fine. That can be an inspiration, but don't compare where you are right now, wherever that is, to somebody that's been doing it for 5, 10, 15 years or more. Because what's going to happen? You're going to compare and despair. You're going to be like, oh man, I don't have that website. I don't have those video skills. I don't have, I don't have that list. I don't have those offers. I don't have all this stuff. So we compare and despair, and we keep that from letting us take action. When in reality, if you look back on where those people started, they started out poorly too. They started out doing imperfect actions, but guess what? The way they got to where they are now is because they actually took action. and they took consistent action over and over and over again. And the great thing about this concept is if you take action over and over and over again without fear, without thinking, I'm going to fail at this or this is going to turn out poorly, and you're willing to take some imperfect action, the faster you go, the quicker you get good, the quicker you get great, the quicker you get awesome. If you slow down and try to think your way through it, you're never going to get great, right? You're just always going to be struggling, always feel overwhelmed, just kind of inching forward, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. That's not a way forward to success. You got to move forward and move forward quickly if you want to get to where you want to get really quickly. So start where you are right now, with the time you have right now, with the money you have right now, with the skills you have right now, and just get started. So take imperfect action. Do something, right? Do something. Take action. Put something out there. And what I'm talking about is actual action, not passive action. Passive action is this, I'm going to read lots of books about this. Or I'm going to read lots of blog posts about this, or watch lots of YouTube videos. I'm going to get on Facebook and see what other people are doing and study and study and study and study and study. It's not real action. It's valuable. It can be valuable, but it's only valuable if you implement what you learn, if you execute on what you're studying, right? So that comes again through action. So I really want you to get unstuck. I want you to be successful. And the way you do that is by taking consistent action, consistent imperfect action now, which leads to better and better and better action, which is going to get you better and better results. So remember that. Number 1, stop telling yourself you're stuck. Number 2, take action. And number 3, be willing to take imperfect action. Be willing to be bad before you're good, and expect to fail before you succeed. And if you do that, you can be unstuck very quickly. You can start to, get out there, see some results, and start to get some feedback and start to win a little bit. And then that's going to build up confidence. You're going to take even more action. That's going to get you more results. You're going to get more confidence. And pretty soon you've got momentum, and you finally have the results you want in your life instead of being stuck and frustrated and confused, right? So use that information, get yourself unstuck, and I hope that helps you a bunch.